good morning. It's 7:04 on this Wednesday. It's August 18th. It's time to head to Studio B for Coleman and Company.
Well, hello, everybody, and welcome. Would you believe the sun is shining this morning? It's going to be a wonderful Wednesday. Now, I think there probably is rain in the forecast. We've had rain in the forecast every day for a while, I think, but it's kind of been cloudy and overcast. It's not as gloomy looking this morning. Something about that bright sunshine that makes you feel better. Anyway, Bob McDonald is here representing Cedarstone Bank. Good morning.
Good morning.
It does sort of make us feel a little bit better to see the sun shining this morning.
Yeah, it does. I mean, I love the sunshine. I know you do too, but you've, as a farmer, as you are.
If you use that, and you got to be careful how you use that word. But
well, you are a farmer. You're a great gardener, and thank you, by the way, for the bag of goodies you brought me last week. Sorry I couldn't talk to you. I was on the phone.
Yeah.
But you brought in that bag of goodies, and I think Debbie got you a new sleeve of Cedarstone cups, I believe.
That's right, yes.
Yeah. So
a couple of them, actually.
But thank you very much, Susan.
Well, how is that okra okay?
Oh, it's wonderful.
You like okra?
Oh, yeah. We love okra. We absolutely love okra. We like to grill our vegetables, and so we've been doing that the last 3 or 4 days ever since you brought that to us.
Okay.
So thank you very much.
All right, you're welcome. Cedarstone Bank, Lebanon, Mount Juliet, Donaldson, simple banking, simply better. That's been their motto from the beginning, and it doesn't mean that you do things in an archaic way, but you try to keep it simple.
We do indeed. Coleman, we are proud of how we serve. We have great people, as you've heard me talk about, and as you've experienced. They love what they do. They love serving. They genuinely want to serve the customer and the community. They're good at what they do.
Mm-hmm.
They're very talented. They're very skilled. They're very dedicated. So we've got the great people, and we also have all the technology that's needed. I mean, if you want to do your banking online, if you want to do it on the telephone, if you want to do it with your mobile phone, if you want to make your deposits with your mobile phone, you can. We have ATMs.
Mm-hmm.
You can use an ATM anywhere in the world, and it's free to our customers. You might see on your statement where you've been charged that third-party ATM fee, but then you'll see right below there where we've reimbursed
Right.
that.
Yeah.
So we like to think that we can serve in any way that the customer wants to be. We find people, Coleman, who want to do most of their banking electronically and through technology. They still like to know that they can come in,
Mm-hmm.
see somebody. So they still want to know us, and we're thankful for that. So we endeavor to serve in every way, in any way that our folks want to be served.
Well, I'll have to sort of echo what you said there, because being a customer almost from the beginning with you, and it used to be if you needed to do anything, you just about had to go to the bank.
Mm-hmm.
You don't anymore. I mean, I honestly, I check my account just about every day.
Yeah.
And you can move money from one account to the other. And I'm not as skilled on all that as a lot of people are. But at the same time, it saves some trips, and time is of the essence every once in a while. Yeah.
Having that information available where you can go check your account, you can see if a check has hit your account yet, or
Mm-hmm.
or for a particular debit, or if you want to check if your deposits have been made. You can do it very easily, very quickly. We get a lot of compliments, Coleman, on our electronic banking programs, and so we encourage folks who are looking for that we can certainly do that. And by the way, you mentioned before we came on the air, you've got there's a big day on Saturday in your life, right?
Yeah, you could say that.
Yeah. So please,
it's probably a bigger day for Helen.
Yeah, well, give Helen happy birthday wishes from Susan and me.
Okay.
Please. And
well,
also,
I know she's listening. You just did it, but
yeah,
I'll remind her.
Happy birthday, Helen. What a sweetheart. And then, if I can, a little personal indulgence on the day before, on Friday the 20th, is mine and Susan's 38th wedding anniversary.
Oh, well,
yeah,
congratulations.
38. And we've been together 41. We dated for 3 years in college. And so we've been together 41 years, married 38. And so we're...
And you got married on the 20th of August.
20th of August.
All right.
It was the hottest day in the history of the United States. Man, it was hot. We got married at McHenry United Methodist Church in downtown Nashville, and then we had our reception at the Opryland Hotel outdoors in a little pavilion thing, and man, it was hot.
Now, what year was that?
That was 1983.
83.
Yeah. And so we still, 38 years later, we still get comments from people who were there. Man, it was hot that day. And it was. Man, it was hot. It was a scorcher. But that's okay.
Well, congratulations on 38
Thank
years.
you.
And you've
Thank
got
you.
2 sons.
Yeah,
and I have met both of them. Think a lot of both.
Yes, well, thank you.
especially Robert. I don't know. What's the other one's?
Michael.
Is he older?
Michael's 30. Robert's 33.
Oh, okay.
Robert's
okay.
the oldest.
Yeah. All right. Well, Robert's followed in his father's footsteps. Michael hasn't,
That's right.
as far as occupation.
Michael would tell you he's the smart one. He's the one who did not follow in his father's footsteps, and we understand that too.
Well, I think you've done pretty well as a banker, and I think the success of Cedarstone bears that out, and you seem to be a happy banker.
Well, I am a happy banker. I love what I do. I love who I do it with, and I look forward each morning waking up and coming to work and serving. And so
After working out.
yes, golly,
I can't.
my feet,
But anyway.
my feet hit the floor this morning at 3:40, and I thought, what in the world am I doing?
I'm going to go work out.
Yeah.
I got to exercise.
It gets harder and harder.
Tell us quickly, we're running out of time here, but we always have to talk about the free checking account at
Free
Cedarstone.
checking account, Coleman, thank you. I'll wrap up with 30 seconds on that. It's completely free. Free checks if you want that. Free online banking if you want to bank that way. Free ATM or debit card. And so we have all the features, and it's still the cornerstone of our bank, and we're open up those accounts all day, and we invite any of your listeners who don't bank with us now. It'd be our pleasure to visit with them and talk about
Right, and I
simple
hope
banking.
the newcomers to our area will consider that when they choose a bank.
Yeah, thank
Free
you.
checking at Cedarstone.
Hey, you got a good program coming up. I can't wait to get in the car and
All right.
listen.
All right,
Two
good.
great guys.
All right, well, thank you, and
All
we'll
right.
see you next Wednesday.
See you, buddy.
Bob McDonald, he's President CEO, Cedarstone Bank, Lebanon, Mount Juliet, Donaldson. Simple banking, simply better. All right, this is the Wednesday that we feature the Mount Juliet Chamber of Commerce, and the CEO and President, I think, Mark Hinesley, is with us, but CEO for him means Chief Encouragement Officer. I've learned that much. Good morning, Mark.
Good morning, Coleman. How are you?
I am doing well. What's
Hope you're as
going
excited
on?
as I am to find out who those 2 great guys are that are going to be your next segment, according to Bob.
Well, Bob gave you a little build up there.
Yes, he did.
Are you okay?
I'm doing great today. I hope you are too.
I am
Hope
fine.
everybody listening, get your chores done before lunchtime, unless you got an umbrella. But
Oh, it's coming this afternoon.
probably after lunchtime. But excited this morning. I want to take a second and introduce the chairman of the board of our chamber. I'd been meaning to bring guests over here for quite some time, and Mr. Lee Campbell with Pinnacle Financial is the 2021 board chair. I believe just following up as chairman of Leadership Wilson as well. So everybody knows who Lee is, but
Lee has been with us a few times
Yes,
in
sir.
the past, but I tell you how I best know him. Every year when we have this reverse drawing, and it's 2 different people that benefit, one this year, one the next year.
Oh,
One's
yeah.
Leadership Wilson,
And the other one's Costa, and I'm on both boards, and so now I've become the MC of both of them.
and he gets to call out the numbers and make, what is it, 299 people sad and one happy.
That's right.
Something like that. Anyway, Lee, good to see you.
Well, thank you, sir. Thanks for letting me be here this morning.
Well, you can thank Mark for that.
Yeah.
It's his idea, but we got room for both of you
There
around
you
the
go.
table.
we usually, I told Lee we don't usually have enough time to get everything talked about. We never seem to run out of things to share with folks, but Wilson County Fair Week, certainly businesses are feeling that impact. A lot going on in Mount Juliet business community. It's been a lot happened in the last 3 or 4 weeks since I saw you last time.
Well, I guess we'll get some of that in here this morning then.
Yeah, probably one of the biggest things, I guess. Do you happen to know what's 149 days from today?
100 and
Christmas.
Tell me, is it?
I don't
A
know.
little bit more, a little bit longer than that, but something that may be so little but means so much. most everybody probably knows by now, but yesterday they announced that no more emissions testing. That's been coming years in the making.
That is like a holiday.
Yes. So if your check engine light's on in January, just wait it out until January the 14th before you get your plates, right? So I saw the clerk, Jim Goodall, I think he's put a note out on social media thanking the local leaders, state government for taking that burden off of folks.
Yeah.
So
$9 we can spend somewhere else.
That's right.
yeah, people would have paid $18 just not to have to do it. So anyway, I think that's a pretty good thing. But a couple of weeks ago, we had the official groundbreaking for Providence Central. A lot of folks have heard a little bit about that, but boy, talk about the cavalry coming over the horizon on sales tax, bringing jobs to Wilson County. Basically pick Providence up and set it down across the street over behind Buffalo Wild Wings, and you'll have Providence Central, 230 acres. They're already cutting roads back through there. Of course, it's going to be driven a lot by the interchange at Central Pike, but future's bright for many years for Wilson County with jobs on the horizon and retail sales tax, and that's something we're always watching. So,
And you know what I'm watching? The clock. It's time for a break.
yeah, I figured that.
So let's do it. This is Coleman and Company, FM 98.9.
All right, it's now 7:16. Let's see what's happening on the roadways. Thanks to our friends at Bates Ford. Low price tire guarantee on all tires every day. Up to 30 days after the sale, there'll be any competitor's pricing on the tires they sell. 1673 West Main. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. Traffic's on the increase now. I-40 coming through Kingston Springs. 65 is busy up through Brentwood, Franklin. 65 down through Madison is also picked up in the last few minutes. Trying to clear up that earlier wreck on 40 westbound near Fessler's. Hey, Ripley's Aquarium, Sleep with the Sharks coming up September 18th and 19th. It's the family edition. Log on to Ripley's Aquarium of the Smokies.com. I'm Commander Chuck. You're on time traffic.
This Saturday night, the Titans head to Tampa to face the world champion Buccaneers and Tom Brady in their effort to try to go 2-0 in the preseason. The award-winning Titans Countdown comes to you at 5:30. Kickoff happens with voice of the Titans Mike Keith and Coach Dave McGinnis at 6:30. Tampa Bay Tom and the world champion Buccaneers square off against your Titans.
Brought to you by Bates Ford, Fakes and Hooker, The Jewelers, and Steve Mull Plumbing.
The winning teams are on WANT 98.9.
Hey Lebanon, what's for dinner? If you find yourself asking or answering this question often, you're in luck because I have the answer for you. The Edge Food and Drink at Lebanon Country Club is now open. The newly remodeled restaurant is open to the public Tuesday through Sunday and is the newest gathering place for lunch, dinner, or watching your favorite teams. Follow The Edge Lebanon on Facebook and Instagram to see weekly food and drink specials and live music lineups. Check them out online at theedgelebanon.com. See y'all there.
Coleman and Company, thanks for joining us. And here on a Wednesday morning, we have Mark Hinesley with the Mount Juliet Chamber of Commerce, along with Lee Campbell, his guest this morning, but mine too, since you're on here with us. Mark, pick it back up.
Well, I was just speaking about the Providence Central development and all of the infrastructure improvements that a lot of times we hear, oh, they're going to do this, they're going to do that, but the money's already in the bank. It was with the sale of the property, probably north of $11 million contribution to widen roads and create access roads. And I know that there's already extreme interest on numerous pads right out there. And I'm basically talking on the southeast corner of Central Pike and Mount Juliet Road. So been a project in the works for probably at least 8 years. A lot of people have worked hard. It kind of went into hiatus for a little while and then got resurrected, I guess, 18 months ago or so. And pieces have all sort of fallen in place, and boy, it's taken off like a rocket ship. So we're excited about that.
But being with your position at the chamber, I mean, this is something you kind of monitor, you're close to, maybe you've had a big hand. I don't know how big a hand you've had in this, but it's certainly something you've had your eye on and are wanting to happen.
Oh, there's no question about that. Anytime you can improve the quality of life for the people in your community, and one of the best things to do is let them spend more time in your community with their families. Let them coach Little League and spend more time at their church or volunteer. You can do that when you're not spending 2 hours a day driving to Nashville or Brentwood or Franklin. And so the jobs that come here, I'll give you a perfect example. Nelson Andrews recently announced that they were going to put their second location in Mount Juliet. And speaking with Nelson one day, not that they'll all stay, but he said there's 40 of their teammates, 40 of them, that already drive to Brentwood over in Maryland Farms to the existing Cadillac dealer. Now, what if only 10 of those don't have to make that drive anymore?
Mm-hmm.
That's a huge quality of life improvement for those families. And guess what? That's 10 more families that'll be shopping in Wilson County at lunchtime.
You got it.
And sales tax, half of that goes to the schools. So commercial growth it takes a lot of the income from taxes on commercial growth really do help relieve the property tax for residential for all of Wilson County. And that's shared equally from Prosperity or Watertown or Statesville or Noreen or wherever, just as much as it is Mount Juliet, Green Hill, or Lebanon. So all that money goes into the hopper and gets divided out where there's a need. And so when you got leaders like Mayor Hutto and the county commission making good decisions, investing our money properly and doing the right things, gosh, how is it not easy to be encouraged by that future, I think. So,
Lee, you don't disagree that he's
No.
a chief encouragement officer.
That he's chief, and he's a talker. we just let him take a breath, then we jump in.
It's all you, Lee.
Well, and just one of the things that I want to talk about was people say, why be a part of a chamber? You always hear about Chamber of Commerce. We take it very seriously, and people pay to be part of the chamber, and so they are our customers. So we want to give value added, and we have a lot of great programs. I tell the story of Mark, being at a smaller bank when there are other banks in town. We just saw Bob McDonald, a great guy. There's plenty to go around, and the Mount Juliet Chamber as well as the Lebanon Chamber do a great job of making everyone feel welcome. And so we just really try to make sure they know it's not a good old boys club. If you're a brand new business, we'd love to have you. We'd love to talk to you. We have networks that meets every other week, and we get like 25 businesses in there that can network together. I lead a book club on why small businesses fail, and it's a 6-week book club. We provide the book. It's free, and it's just an hour long for for business owners, 10 to 12 business owners, to get together and talk about how can I grow my business. And because as a banker, we see these people come in all excited. They're opening a new business in town, and they're all giddy. And in 6 months to a year, they're coming in and closing that account. And it's like, how can we make sure that doesn't happen? And, it's just like a marriage. You have a 50-50 shot that your marriage is going to work, but did you go to counseling? Did you do all the right things? And that's what we try to tell business owners. Just because you open the doors doesn't mean people are going to become flocking. So we need to make sure that there's, a means to an end. And
well, you are so right, and I've always had admiration for somebody that had the lack of another term, had the guts to go into business, because you're sticking your neck out, and there's no guarantee of success.
That's correct.
But there are some things you can do to hopefully make it a success.
Yeah.
And there's some things you can do that's almost going to be detrimental.
Yep. And that's why it's great when you have 10 to 12 business owners in there. You got some young ones that can tell you how social media works, how they advertise. And then you got some folks who have been doing it 10, 20 years that could say, hey, don't do this. This is what I did, and this is how I made this mistake. And they can just really take an hour each week to talk about how can I grow my business and really pull myself back and let it run on its own. And then the third Friday of every month, I lead, co-lead Leadership by the Book with Sam Anderson. And it's a Bible study for business owners. We just take one little verse each month, but really, how can we be better owners, better people in the community? Because as we know that with COVID and all this stuff, there's really a lot of turmoil and just a lot of unrest. And it's like, look, we can join hands and know that the reason we're here is to make this a better community and let people see the light of Christ in us. And so it's not a big holy roller thing. It's just how can we make it through another week and kind of get together on the same page. So we're just trying to add value physically, mentally, financially, through the chamber. And because you don't have to be a part of the chamber. You can be a very successful business and not be a part. So we want to add that value added and have folks be a part of what we're trying to do. So.
And by being a member of the chamber, it is a way to give back. There are ways to serve there too,
Yes.
and help your fellow man, fellow business person.
Yeah, we have one of the greatest boards. Mark has done. I mean, for him to be in this position as long as how many years is it, Mark?
Pushing a quarter of a century.
Yeah. For someone to be in that position for as long as he had is just admirable. And the folks that he's got together, besides me, are just stellar people in the community that really care about the community. It's not figureheads. It's people that really want to make a difference.
Well, I want to, if you will indulge me, take 1 minute. Tell us about you. Did you grow up in Wilson County?
I did not.
Where are you from?
I'm from Hendersonville. I went to Beach. And I actually went to college for radio and television. I wanted to be in communications. So when you were inducted in the Radio Hall of Fame, I don't think people really understand. I mean, you make it look easy. And so that's what people's, hey, you can get behind a mic. No, it's to have the longevity. You've done an amazing job.
Hey, I ask about you.
I know, but just want to say what you've done is amazing.
You.
So I went through the whole dog and pony show, and I was like, I can't do this. So I went into banking, and I was with SunTrust for 20 years. I was the area manager over Wilson County. We weren't really active. And then when I came to Pinnacle 8 years ago, they wanted me to be more in the community. And so then so being on the boards and stuff where they let me MC, it's really I enjoy that because I like talking and, so it's been a wonderful transition. Mount Juliet, Wilson County, I'm a Sumner County boy, but I really do consider Wilson County my home because the people are just amazing, and they really have embraced me like I've been here my whole life.
I'm glad I asked.
Yeah.
What else we need to talk about? We want Lee to continue.
Yeah. Well, when people say that the chamber, the programs that Lee was speaking of, if any of that piqued your interest, there's no strings attached. I learned before I ever even took this job, Betty Stevens, probably going on 30 years ago, said, Mark, don't take it personal. Every business in the community benefits from a chamber of commerce, but they're not all going to pay membership. So just don't let that be a stumbling block. We'll help anybody. And a lot of times it might be a year or two later. I remember when I first had this idea, you guys were really helpful to me or whatever. And sometimes I just want to see it. So come and check stuff out. You can come to anything we have, member or not. You'll make some new friends. Promise you'll be greeted at the door. And it's a great way to learn about the community as well. If you're relatively new, you can tune into a few of these meetings. And whether it's getting updates from our local and state representatives, GC and Tammy over at the JECDB, Mayor Hutto, since the day he was elected, has been making the last Wednesday of the month visits to all three chambers. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of unusual to do that even in non-election years, but he's so passionate about providing opportunities for feedback. So a lot of times we're just kind of the conduit, the place where people meet and get information. Some people want to meet new business owners. Well, we had something almost unprecedented. A week ago Friday, we did about 12 or 15 ribbon cuttings in the span of about 90 minutes. A lot of people remember Valley Center being flooded out back in the spring. Uh-huh. A couple of those businesses actually got back open, and then the landlord said, everybody's moving out. We're going to redo the whole thing. That was a pretty difficult time for a lot of our local businesses. And a week ago Friday afternoon, we literally went door to door to door to door to door, and our ambassadors just went from one business to the next, stretched the ribbon out, introduced the speaker or the owner of the business, and cut their ribbon. And I guess we had 12 or 15 in a matter of about 90 minutes. So looking for reasons to celebrate.
You want to add to that?
No, I was just going there's so much going on. I mean, we can talk about all the bad things, but we try to keep our eyes on the good things that are happening in the community and all the good people that are here. And, I try to stay away from politics. It keeps us happy and just keep a smile on our face, and thank God that we're in Wilson County and that we're in the great state of Tennessee, and life is really pretty good.
Well, being a part of the chamber in many ways, many times, is a way of giving back. And you're talking about the religious aspect. Jesus Christ did say it's more blessed to give than to receive. And we all should give if we use our talents to the best that we can.
Amen, brother.
We got about a minute, Mark.
Well, coming up now more than ever, and there's a lot of you out there. The census data came in, Wilson County, obviously, and Lebanon, Mount Juliet seem to be growing at about the same rate. We're excited about that. There'll probably be some redrawing of the lines. We've heard a little bit about that with districts, so that needs to be done by the end of the year. But December 11th is the Mount Juliet Christmas Parade. If you haven't already checked out Wilson and Juliet, those are our two little shop local elves that are all over the place. You never know where they're going to turn up. They might even show up here on the radio one of these days. But and we'll follow that with a decorating, turning on the Christmas light. The Christmas store is now open. You don't have to drive to Pigeon Forge to see the amazing Christmas place. You can shop right in Wilson County, Mount Juliet. So,
well, we thank you for being here. It's nice to see you once a month, and you always bring us good news and encourage us, and that's great. Lee, thank you so much for being with us today. Lee Campbell and Mark Hinesley, Mount Juliet Chamber of Commerce. And that's part one of Coleman and Company. We hope you'll keep it here for more. FM 98.9.
And at 7:31, let's see what's happening on the roadways. It's all brought to you by Absolute Kubota Red Max. Complete inventory, weed eaters, blowers, hedge trimmers for the commercial user and homeowner with up to a 4-year warranty. 1506 West Main. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. They've got this crash over to the right-hand side. People are still looking at it as they drive by on 40 westbound here at M Hill Pike overpass. That's 40 west before you get to Fessler's. Traffic's been a little bit slow here coming past the airport because of that earlier wreck. 109's building pretty good in Wilson County up towards the interstate. Briley Parkway entrance ramp at Murfreesboro Pike. We saw him working a crash a few minutes ago. Ripley's Aquarium in the Smokies. Sleep with the Sharks Family Editions coming up September 18th and 19th. Log on to Ripley's Aquarium of the Smokies.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
This is Bob McDonald with Cedarstone Bank. For 17 years now, we've been serving our communities in Lebanon, Mount Juliet, and Donaldson. We can serve you in the way that best fits your needs. We have all the banking technology, we have beautiful buildings, but more importantly, we have great people. On behalf of our board of directors, I thank you for banking with us. If you don't currently bank with us, please come by and visit us in any of our locations. It would be our pleasure to talk with you about how simple banking is simply better.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
A.G. & Johnson Realty and Auction has been a part of Wilson County since 1977. No matter if you are thinking of buying or selling a home, we can help you with the process. Buyer opportunities are better than ever. Call us at A.G. & Johnson to find out more. 615-444-0909. Real estate is key to building long-term wealth. Let us help you with all your real estate transactions. Call A.G. & Johnson Real Estate and Auction at 615-444-0909 or visit us online, agandjohnson.com.
Gregory Dental Group in Lebanon is a family dental practice located across from Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital. They offer cosmetic procedures, dental implant services, and now featuring new digital dentures. Premium dentures in just 2 appointments. No insurance, no problem. Call about our discount plan.
Hi, I'm Dr. Derek Gregory. In my office, you can count on a compassionate staff who will truly listen to you, take the time to get to know you, and discuss your personal needs. I look forward to meeting you.
Gregory Dental Group, 444-0322, West Medora Parkway across from Gibbs Pharmacy.
Today's forecast calls for a mix of sun and clouds with just a slight chance of rain. Temperatures today will climb into the upper 80s. On Thursday, scattered showers are in the forecast along with temperatures in the mid-80s. For Friday, a few scattered showers are possible. This weather forecast is brought to you by Walker Auction and Realty, professional auction and real estate services. Get top dollar for your home, land, or personal property. Log on to MikeWalkerAuctions.com. They know auctions. That's Look at Your Forecast. I'm meteorologist T.J. Scott.
Coleman and Company, welcome to part 2. It is a Wednesday morning. Philip Ethley is here as always to talk about Absolute Rental and Supply, 1325 West Main in Lebanon. Good morning.
Morning, Coleman.
Can I finish a story right quick?
Sure.
You were saying how nice it was Monday at the FFA breakfast. that Dr. Petty from Carthage was there, over 100 years old, oldest, I believe he's the oldest graduate of Cumberland. They fought in World War II, and I did have him on here. Dr. Stum had him and another gentleman from Carthage that were coming for something that they were doing over at Cumberland, and they came by here and were on the radio, and it was really good to see him again.
Yeah, I thought that was a really good in honoring him.
Right.
Very good.
Well, anyway, to talk about what you do there at 1325 West Main, you rent just about anything from wallpaper steamers to bulldozers, and you have what they need.
Yeah, we have what you need. That's right.
What do you want to talk about?
Well, Coleman, I just want to take a minute to thank all our customers. We've been here 20 years. We've grown every year. It's been a real pleasure serving the community, and we hope that we have taken care of and provided a good service for the community. So I'd like to thank our customers. There again, right now is a good time of year. We're kind of short on rain right now, but it's a good time of year where you can get things planned, you can schedule. And so, if you have any kind of upcoming projects, landscaping, home remodeling, any kind of dirt work, anything like that, just give us a call. We'll be glad to make a reservation for you. We're going to ask you a lot of questions, kind of find out where you're working at and what you're doing with the machines, just to make sure that you're going to have the right machine for the right application.
Well, I know Mr. Bryson has been one to offer a lot of advice. Do you? You may not know hardly as much as he does about that, but if you don't, you picked up a lot from him.
Yeah, over the years, I've picked up on a lot on the turf deal. Just like we were talking to the gentleman there, it's still a little too early to be seeding. You want to wait till the in Wilson County in Middle Tennessee, the UT Ag Service Center says that from the middle of September till the end of October is your prime fescue seeding time. Mm-hmm. And so, especially with it being hot and dry right now, I recommend people kind of wait. But, wait till things starts cooling down, that ground temperature gets down a little bit for the fescue. And so that would really help.
But if they want to go ahead and reserve something, it's not too early, is it?
That's right, yeah. When we've already got like aerators and stuff like that, people have reserved them back since fall. They automatically go ahead and put it in for the upcoming season. So we've got a lot of our reservations for that. So it is important on those things. I keep referring back to right now is a good time because it's just everything's kind of even. There are certain seasons that there's a rush. Everybody's got we got a short window of time to get this aeration done or the overseeding done or the pre-emergence done. Right now I'm liking it because there's not any rush season per se. So, but like I say, air compressors in the fall, air compressors, we've already got reservations on air compressors where everybody has to go out and blow out all their irrigation lines to keep them from freezing. That's kind of a rush deal. So, but like I say, go ahead and if you got a project coming up or you're going to be needing something, give us a call, make a reservation.
Well, that old saying about the early bird gets the worm.
Exactly.
Making these reservations, you're pretty sure of getting it when you are asking for it.
Exactly. And like I say, and that keeps our from being hectic. When everybody's got a reservation, it's so easy to send out a reservation versus someone coming in and saying, hey, I need a bobcat right now. And you're like, oh, let me check and see what I've got available. And you have to go, but anyway, we appreciate the phone call.
And I guess we ought to say a word about delivery too, because everybody's not able to transport what they're renting from your point to their point, and you'll do it for them.
Yeah, we do that, and we try to do that at very affordable rates for the homeowner who may not have the proper size truck. To be able to tow our equipment, to the contractor who is just more efficient and actually saves them money by having us deliver it versus them having to come pick it up and take it back.
Well, you got a lot going for you. You stay up to date on tools. Something new comes along that's so popular, you're going to have it before long. That's part of the job.
Yeah, right? That's part of the job, exactly. Yeah. We keep up with our missed rentals, things that people call in and we don't have or we don't have enough of. So we track that, and then when we see that we're missing rentals and we need that, we go get it.
Well, we'll have to say you have a presence at the fair too, maybe more with the Kubota part, but you're part owner of both of them.
Yes, sir.
Absolute Rental, I guess your name's out there too a little
Yeah,
bit.
we've got a name. We've got a lot of equipment rented out there, and so we try to help out whenever we can.
Well, anything else this morning?
No, just give us a call.
Well, I know you got something to do, and you're going to be on your way.
Yep.
You're a busy guy,
Yeah.
but a good businessman, and we
Try to be.
appreciate you. Thank you so much.
All
See you
right,
next
thank
week.
you.
Philip Etherly, Absolute Rental and Supply, 1325 West Main. We didn't mention that phone number till right now, but this is important. 615-443-RENT. That's the number, and you remember that. 443-RENT. That's the way to get a hold of them, as well as AbsoluteRental.com on the internet. 21 before the hour, Mayor Rick Bell joins us. Mayor, good morning.
Good morning, Coleman.
Guess who I ran into at the fair a day or two ago?
Who is that?
Your brother. And he says, I'm Jack, not Rick.
I like that. Actually, I ran into him at the fair the other night, too, so we must have saw him around the same time.
Maybe so. But anyway, it was good to see him. And actually, he had a cap on, and I didn't exactly recognize him at first. But
Yeah.
Anyway, two of you you tell your brothers.
We are. Jack's 10 years older than I am.
That's what he said.
So, we grew up, almost two different generations, really. He was 18 when I was 8. So, but yeah, he was out there with my two nephews, Bronson and Weston. Weston's in medical school in Memphis, so he came to town to go to the fair. And
I guess he's the one he introduced me to. Okay,
Yeah.
got to meet your nephew. Yeah.
And so they were out there, and so I got to see them, and that was good. And what was interesting was I saw them near the telephone museum over in Fielder's Grove, and we went in there. They have the old phone books. And we looked through those old phone books, looked up my grandparents' phone numbers and things like that. So, if nobody's been in the, if you haven't been in the telephone museum, go in there. It's really interesting to see all the old telephones through the years and how they've changed.
You said grandfather J.W. Van Hook?
Yeah, we looked up his number, J.W. Van Hook, but also my dad's father, Albert Bell, who was lived up in Salisbury. We looked up his number too.
Was that in Lebanon or Watertown?
He had a Watertown number. Okay. Yeah, had a Watertown.
237.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, something interesting to do, to say the least.
That's right, yeah.
Well, you had a meeting last night, didn't you?
We did. We had a meeting last night, and it was a short meeting, really, but there were a few things that happened out there, during that time. A couple of things. I was able to appoint some people to some boards. They're really important. Greg Hemmentaler is going to be part of the Airport Commission. Ralph Malacote, who served as chair, he resigned from the commission a few weeks ago, and he felt like he just, he had some other things he wanted to do as far as more leisure activities. So I appreciate Ralph for his service to the airport.
More fishing and more flying.
That's exactly right, yeah. But I appreciate all he's done, and so I needed to replace him. So Greg agreed to serve on that. And the reason I picked Greg, he's really not a pilot or an airport person, but Greg lives in the neighborhood right by the airport. And I've known Greg for a long time. Actually, we were college roommates. And I met with HOA over there one afternoon several weeks ago, and they said that, since they're right there by the airport, they would like to have a representative on the commission in that neighborhood. So Greg is going to be their representative. And again, I appreciate him doing that. And also, Mike Russell, who has served on the airport commission for a long time, he agreed to continue that. His term is up, so I reappointed him. And then Gary Renfro, I reappointed him to serve on the Board of Adjustments and Appeals. He's been on that board for a long time too. So, it's always good to have citizens who want to be involved, and those are important boards and commissions. So I appreciate them doing that.
Well, who's going to be the chair of the airport commission?
Well, they need to pick one.
Okay.
Yeah. So T.O. Cragwall has agreed to serve as the interim chair for the next few months until they can decide who their permanent chair is going to be.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
He's still flying.
He's still around the airport.
Well, I saw him the other day.
Yeah.
He and I graduated from high school together.
Yeah.
We have a little reunion once a month, or we don't call it a breakfast that we go to. He was there, but we didn't talk much about the airport commission because he actually he is part of it, but he had resigned as chairman, I believe.
Yeah, and T.O. he loves the airport.
Yeah,
he's been out there a long time, and he's one of the important people who's helped that airport grow. He really has through the years. He has big dreams for that airport, and and some of those dreams have been recognized, especially that new terminal out there. You know, that was part of what he wanted.
Well, I think one of the things, we've talked a little bit about this, and you and I have too as well, but getting the soccer playing off the airport property there and somewhere else is going to allow for more growth.
Oh, that's really important for all kinds of reasons. You know, it allows the airport to grow, and also, you know, the soccer fields, as the airport has become busier through the years, you know, that's more of an issue. You know, having soccer played right there close like that. So we're going to get new soccer fields and get those moved, and it's going to be better for everyone involved. In fact, I met with T-Dot Aeronautics a couple months ago. I went down to their office in Nashville to kind of see their side of airport work, and I found out that, you know, when Lebanon years ago decided to put the soccer fields there, T-Dot Aeronautics actually created a special rule that said cities can't do that anymore. So we need to get those off there for all kinds of reasons.
All right, Lebanon Mayor Rick Bell is with us. I think this would be a good time to take our break. We're approaching that time, and we'll talk more in a moment here on Coleman and Company, FM 98.9.
And to 744, let's see what's happening on the roadways. Thanks to Bates Ford, lifetime brake pad guarantee. With the purchase of a brake service, replacement brake pads will be provided at no cost for as long as a customer owns a vehicle. Bates Ford, 1673 West Main. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. It's finally looking a little bit better here as they clear up the paperwork on this crash on 40 westbound near the M Hill Pike overpass. That's 40 west before you get to Fesslers. Out on the west side, two cars tangled up Highway 100 at Temple Road. Briley Parkway entrance ramp at Murfreesboro Pike. We saw that wreck. Traffic's still busy right now, but it's moving 24 coming in from Jolton and I-40 through Kingston Springs. Behind it, you got all that traffic in from Dixon County and Hickman County. Hey, Princess Hot Chicken is now hiring at both locations. Apply today at princesshotchicken.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
She's taken care of you your whole life. Now it's your turn to take care of her. But with a family of your own and other responsibilities, there just aren't enough hours in the day. That's why it might be time to call the Pavilion Senior Living. From bathing, dressing, housekeeping, and meals, the Pavilion Senior Living is committed to being senior living you can trust for your loved one. Find out more at pavilionseniorliving.com or call 444-5556. That's 444-5556.
This is Philip Etherly with Absolute Rental and Supply. Whether it's cleaning, painting, remodeling, or simply getting better organized, we have the tools and equipment to get the job done. Scaffolding, paint sprayers, ladders, power saws, portable heaters, temporary lighting, generators, hardwood floor staplers, from wallpaper steamers to bulldozers, Absolute Rental has what you need. Call 615-443-RENT. Absolute Rental and Supply. We have what you need.
Coleman and Company, thanks for joining us in our final segment here on a Wednesday morning. Lebanon Mayor Rick Bell is with us, and we've talked about a couple of appointments and got kind of deviated a little bit from, but that's what I like, live, spontaneous,
that's right,
unrehearsed.
That's right,
and it's more fun that way. But what else we need to talk about this morning, especially last night's meeting? I guess.
You know, there were a couple things. Terry Bryan came up and spoke to us last night. You know, he has a building on the square. And he's in that northeast corner, and he was talking about back here in the alleyways. There's some drainage issues back there, but that was good timing because we've been working on that. We've been putting a plan together to go in that alley, get those alleyways back there, and really fix up the drainage and do some paving. But before we do that, we need to go down there and make sure the utilities are okay and maybe do some repairs of those. So actually on last night's agenda was the first step for that. It was placed in front of the city council to get some easements back there. What we've discovered is that those alleys in that corner, they're all private property. So in order to get back here and work, we have to get easements from those property owners. So we've started that process, and we're going to start working on that corner and getting it more up to date. So I think that was a big part of last night's agenda.
Well, now is the city's is this something you would normally do on private property or?
Well, you know, this is something that actually Councilor Camille Burdine, she started before I became mayor. You know, she represents the square, and she wanted to go into those areas behind the square and really fix those up. And we started actually in the southeast corner. And those alleys were a mixture of public and private. So they had to work through that. But, Jeff Baines, our Commissioner of Public Services, he really sees the square, even though that may be private property, those utilities are public. They serve a lot of people, so, we need to take care of those. And so the southeast corner of the square is finished. Now we're going to go to the northeast and kind of work our way around. But it was just ironic, that Mr. Bryan, he spoke to us about that last night, but on the agenda, we were starting the process. So, that's going to take some time. But
well, do you have any particular ideas he's pushing here as a way to do it, or just wanting to get it done?
He brought some pictures, just want to make sure we knew about it, and which we did. And so, as I said, it's going to be a process, but, we're going to start start now and get moving on that. And also, we talked about some traffic signals last night. We started the process last night to get a traffic signal at Horn Springs Road. That's going to be developer funded, so that's good. And then there was a question last night about the Carver Lane light. I know that's a topic on a lot of people's minds, and there were some delays in that because of getting the right of way, from the property there at the end of the road. But the design of that, as was reported last night, is about 95% done. So, we're well on our way to bidding that out, and that's going to be developer funded too. So, we're working hard to get some things done, and I know those things are important.
Regarding those traffic lights, it depends on which part of the road you're on.
Well,
if
that's
you're
true.
trying to get out, you want a traffic light there. If you're heading to Nashville or west, the traffic light's an impediment.
It is, it is. But I will say this, definitely the one at Carver Lane, that is badly needed. It's been badly needed for a long time. That's a tricky area there with the bypass coming off, and you have Market Basket there and the Kubota dealership right across the street, and it's a tricky area. So that's one that really needs it.
Well, what about Horn Springs?
Well, that's something that just came up. Horn Springs has a lot of people living on it. Especially out in the county part of it. But there's some development coming along on that road that's going to spur that light. So those developers have to pay for it. And
okay.
And so it's just another one of those roads is that as more and more people move on to Horn Springs, it's we need a red light out there. So that process started last night too.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. What else? What else you got for us?
Well, of course, I'm sure everybody this week has talked about the fair,
The city has its presence there in a number of ways.
We do,
especially the police.
The police are there, and the fire department's there, and we have other people working on it as well, and I appreciate all their efforts, in helping that. And that's one of the things about being here in Lebanon is that, when you work for the city of Lebanon, the fair happens. It happens every year, and that's part of what we do, is help with the fair. So. I want to thank everybody who works for us, who helps, and thank everybody, who helps out with the fair too, because that's really a big thing for Lebanon. Having the state fair here in the city of Lebanon is, that's a huge feather in our cap, and I just want to thank everyone for helping put that together. We were out there Thursday night for the grand opening parade. I got to ride in the back of a pickup truck with the other mayors, with Randall Hutto and Mike Jennings and James Manis, and I know you had a car you were riding in too. I saw you over there. And, so that was a great event. The governor was there, and Congressman John Rose was there too, a lot of dignitaries. So that was a great opening.
Well, there's one thing I was really happy about, that when it poured down rain, we were inside.
That's right. We were in the building. That was a good thing. Now, for the people outside, my wife, Nicole, she was stuck outside helping line that parade up, so she wasn't as happy as I was. But there's a lot of great events at the fair that people don't realize. I think we mentioned all the things you can see and do and eat, but yesterday morning they had the old timers breakfast, and Thomas and Sherry Carney this year were honored as the old timers of the year, and they have volunteered out there for a long time with the fair. And in fact, their son Eric and I went to school together. And his wife Mary, she works at the Expo Center. So, they have a big impact on that facility out there.
Well, Thomas was a couple of years, I think, 1 or 2 years ahead of me in high school.
Was he? Okay. Well,
I've known him all these years.
Well, they were there yesterday morning. They got their rocking chairs from Cracker Barrel, so that was a great event. And then, even though we had a city council meeting last night, I do know that at the fair last night that you got the Mike Baker Friend of the Fair Award. So congratulations on that.
Well, thank you. I was flabbergasted. It was total surprise.
Was it? Well, that's it was well deserved.
Well, the thing about it was big on the giveaway committee. We have committee meetings early in the year and get our sponsors lined up and all of this and then Keith Harrison had always talked about this maybe in April or May, and as I was thinking back about what's going to happen and all this, we haven't even mentioned this, and I thought, are they not going to have one this year? And I thought, nothing has been said about this. Surely Randall and Jimmy Coleman haven't forgotten. I mean, they're on the executive board and kind of oversee the great giveaway, and then we have these two newcomers to our committee. Daniel and Brent Baker and Daniel Sampson, who are actually co-chairs, and nothing had been said about this at all. And I had wondered about it, and I'd even told Randall I've got a list of all those from 2002 on who have been honored, and if you want, I'll bring that. Yeah, that'll be good. And then when we get the we get our instructions for last night from Randall. He had rubbed my name out and wrote his in as who would present the award. And so I knew something was different, but I had no idea.
So they faked you out, huh?
Yeah, right. But as I said, I mean, you can never, I guess, be totally ready for a surprise, know exactly what to say, but there's some really fine people that have received that award over the years. Some good business people here, starting with Ernest and Barbara Johnson, and Barbara's on the square, and all the others. Odell. In fact, I told Odell last night I've caught up with you and Linda. But anyway, it's a great honor to be included on something like that, and I need to say something about Mike Baker too. Worked with him, and he was a great guy, and I'm really glad that years ago they started this Mike Baker Friend of the Fair Award to remember him. So that's great.
Yeah, Mike, he was a great guy, and
Brent's coming along.
Yeah,
Brent's doing fine.
Yeah, it's and there was, nice to make that award in his honor. That was real tragedy, for his family and our city too.
Well, we covered last night's meeting pretty well.
We have. One other thing that happened last night I should mention is that there was a rezoning out on South Hartman Drive. The National Indoor RV Center is going to come to Lebanon, and they are a business. They have several locations around the country where they sell RVs, and they also do maintenance on RVs, and they're a huge business, and they sell some high dollar vehicles, and that's really going to be a boon for our sales tax revenue. The building that they've designed, that there's going to be really nice. It's going to be a great looking building, and I'm really glad that they're coming to town. They're a type of business that people who like RVs or in that world, people come from miles around to that store, and come to Lebanon. So it's not just a dealership, it's a destination as well. So that they went through rezoning last night, and they'll go through the process. They'll start construction soon, but they'll be on South Hartman Drive, just south of the interstate. So I think that's going to be a great addition to our city.
Well, we've got about 2.5 minutes left here this morning, and there's still time to make it to the fair, of course. The rain has probably slowed things down a little bit, and I don't know how many people are concerned about COVID, but we hear the TV news every night how many people are hospitalized, and some of our intensive care units are full, and it's not something to be laughed at, and we do need to be as careful as we can and social distance, but hopefully, I hope we don't have to go to some of the extremes that we did before.
Well, I do too. We've been through a lot, as a community, as a country, as a world, really, I really hope that we'll get through this and be able to move on.
Well, I wish that people to go back to work, quite frankly. And it just doesn't make any, I don't want to be political about this, but it does not make any sense for the federal government to be paying people more than they can make if they're working, and an incentive not to work. It's hurting business.
I understand. I agree. And there's all kinds of jobs available out there. Of course, we all see it. The signs, help wanted. It's just about every business in town, and that's not just here. That's a lot of places, and I know there are a lot of businesses looking for help, and we as a city, we're going to do everything we can to get them that help. Because that's a big part of who we are.
Oh, let me do you got something else you want to say quickly?
Go ahead. Just one other thing I want to mention is, Fred Burton, who's counselor for Ward 1, his brother passed away.
Roderick,
yeah, Dr. Roderick Burton passed away, and they had his service yesterday, and he was a professor at Tennessee State for 30 years, and he worked for Lebanon Housing Authority for 45 years. He was a big part of the community, and I just want to offer my condolences to Fred and his family for their loss.
Well, I appreciate that. I had not heard, and I would echo that, say the same thing. I remember having Dr. Roderick on the program at least one time, maybe more. That was years ago.
Yeah.
Hadn't seen him in a long time. But hopefully Fred's doing okay.
He is.
All right. Well, Mayor Rick Bell, thank you so much. Wish you a good day and a good week, and a whole good whatever till you come back again.
Yeah, how's that? And I'll see everybody at the fair.
All right. That's going to do it for this Wednesday. I hope you'll join us tomorrow for Coleman and Company. Until then, I wish you a wonderful day.